middle of the scale is peace and contentment, and even if we could reach that on a daily basis, it would be so positive for our lives.
Now I'm kind of happy that I'm in the habit of really thinking about things before I speak. And don't get me wrong, I have my moments where sometimes I do speak without thinking. I think we all do.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling a certain emotion, then I want to feel the opposite of it. So if it's sadness, I want to feel happiness. So I just talk myself around to a better way of thinking.
Welcome to P&P, the Partners in Positivity podcast, where
Aisling Burnett
and myself, Sarah Harty, warriors of EBP, SPP, DHBs, that's emotionally bulletproof, spiritually bulletproof, divine human beings, aim to wake up and shake up the nation through positivity, humour and shared wisdom. Today on the Irish and international stage of our P&P podcast, we conclude with part 4 of a series we've done with the wonderful, the gorgeous, the beautiful Ava Hennessy. Our great friend, and she has been brilliant over the past 3 episodes where we discussed and uncovered what it means to be emotionally bulletproof. Wow. Because we decided that we wanted to share the true depth and meaning to our acronym at the beginning of the podcast, EBP. So we're going to recap from the last 3 episodes. So the first episode we discussed our own definition of what it means for us to be emotionally bulletproof. There's no right or wrong answer when it comes to something like that. We all live our lives individually and we need tools and help and ways of being more bulletproof, and that's why we decided to do this. So we discussed that. We also talked about emotions, how many there are, the fact that we didn't learn them in school. We learned them from books and studying and going to seminars and different things throughout our adult life. And we discovered that there's more than 27 emotions, and sometimes it's actually really, really difficult to identify in our own bodies, whether we're having a good or bad day, how to describe or identify in being able to express what our emotions are. So we're growing and developing every day in that. And on top of that, we talked about the emotional scale. So from the bottom in terms of fear, and the top, happiness, love, joy, empowerment, stuff like that. And we also recognize that in the middle of the scale is peace and contentment. And even if we could reach that on a daily basis, it would be so positive for our lives. So that was gorgeous and a treat to see inside your minds and hearts about that wonderful concept. So part 2, we talked about transforming your emotion or acting on your emotion. How did that go for you, Ava?
I feel like every situation is different. It's not a bad thing to react to something, but actually when I was younger, I felt like I wished that I spoke up more, that maybe I was too quiet or I didn't say how I felt. But now I'm kind of happy that I'm in the habit of really thinking about things before I speak. And don't get me wrong, I have my moments where sometimes I do speak without thinking. I think we all do.
Yeah.
But like we were talking about, like if I have something that's bothering me, I like to sleep on it for 24 hours. Some people, you're saying wait until Thursday, like some people wait longer. But if there is something bothering me, I'll write it out, as in I'm going to send that person a message in my notes, and I'll sleep on it, and I might wake up the next day and think, oh, I'm so happy I didn't send that, because it would have been a complete emotional message, and maybe not very some stuff that you say might not need to be said. So yeah, I think definitely sleeping on it and talking to myself as well. If I'm in a situation where someone has done or said something that has upset me or triggered me in some way, it's like, why has that upset me so much? And is that person just projecting something onto me, or like was there a need for it to be said? But I think, like we were saying, just being aware of your emotions is a huge thing, because like we all know people, like we've all met people that react out of anger straight away, and I don't think that anyone that reacts with anger or violence, I think it's hurt underneath it all, and it's like a mask kind of, or someone that might get really upset like over something small. You might think, oh, that was an overreaction, but it could be just triggering another part of themselves. So yeah, I just really think that giving myself time to think about a situation is the best thing I can do anyway, because I might not even care the next day and it's not a big deal.
That's brilliant advice. And on episode 3, we chatted about all the multitude of tools there are for self-help, for your mental health, for your physical health, or to make you feel a little bit better. What do you remember us discussing from that episode about what tools there are out there?
Yeah, so I remember that you said that you use meditation on a daily basis, and you know, it's not for everybody, but it has really helped you, and it was the first time you were able to stop your mind from racing. So you knew that if you were ever getting worked up, there was a place you could go and you'd feel peace. So meditation, while it's not for everyone, it can work for a lot of people. I'd use that myself. Then Ava, you were saying you'd only use it the odd time, like you have specific ones for different things. Then I said one of my favourite tools is to use tapping, EFT, and also with a positive self-talk process, where if I'm feeling a certain emotion, then I want to feel the opposite of it. So if it's sadness, I want to feel happiness. So I just talk myself around to a better way of thinking. Not necessarily better, but just to feel better, I think. And then Ava, you were saying just to really listen to yourself to see what it is that you need on that day. And that while exercise really helps us, like good serotonin boost and everything, and get into a better mood, it's not always what you need. Like some days you just want to rest because you've had days where you went to the gym and it actually made you more anxious, so rest would have been much better. There's just so many different things we can do, like.
And even with diet and stuff, I feel like, you know, obviously when you're eating food that makes you feel good, whatever that is, you know, some days I'm like, oh, I want to eat everything from home today and I want to cook everything and I enjoy it, preparing it. And then there's other days where I just don't want to cook. So a takeaway is what I need. Like even something so small can really like change everything, can't it?
Yeah, everything matters in the whole scheme of things. That's great, girls. Wonderful. Thanks for all of that feedback and recapping the series with us. It was great, Ava, having you here with us. Thanks for coming all the way from Cork.
Thanks for having me in the flesh.
In the flesh. This is exactly what we need. I feel better having you here and just even having these conversations. So I do hope you out there that are watching this, listening, that you gain something of value for yourself and that you can apply, or maybe this has inspired you to take on a new tool for your own self-care. Thanks to everyone for tuning in, and we look forward to bringing you a new podcast next week.
And let us know in the comments what you do for your own emotional well-being, what you do to feel more EBP, that's emotionally bulletproof, and what tools you use. And have a great week.
Thank you for tuning into another episode of our Partners in Positivity podcast. It means the world to us that you've tuned in. We hope we put a smile on your face or made you laugh. Maybe you got a little bit of wisdom from this, or hopefully you want to take an action in your life based on something positive you got from listening to our guest or listening to us. We absolutely value the work that we do, and we are going to continue to bring you more episodes week on week. If you don't know already, we do have a Ko-fi donation page, and it is ko-fi.com/partners in positivity, ko-fi.com. Feel free to donate, and we are so grateful for anyone that has donated so far.
Thanks, Sarah. And thanks to each and every one of you who tune in on audio and on YouTube to listen to us, to share all your good energy with us. And thanks for everything that you've done, whether it's a like on Instagram, sharing the podcast, nice comment, a review, coming and meeting us in person on our P&P hikes. We just love it all, and we are so grateful, and we cherish and adore each and every one of you. Thanks so much.